The Ombudsman for short-term insurance says his office received a record number of complaints against insurers last year. To discuss, we're joined by the Ombudsman, Dennis Jooste. Thank you for joining us, Dennis. So, is this a sad indictment on this industry, or, like you've mentioned, it is a tough economy? Maybe that puts pressure on people to complain. They want to get their money back. What's the picture that you see?
Well, I think that statistic should be seen in context. I don't think you can say it's a sad indictment, no. While it's true that the number of complaints received by the Office of the Ombudsman is a record for a year, standing at just over 10,000 complaints, that should be seen in the context of the increase in the number of claims filed against insurers, which has also increased. In fact, the number of claims has increased as a percentage over the last 2 years, more than the number of complaints received by our office.
What's driving those claims?
Well, it's market conditions. Year before last, we had some very serious events in the insurance market. Hail, weather-related claims were very serious. They were catastrophic claims. This last year it was quieter, but overall it's just a symptom of a growing market with a growing number of consumers who are investing in insurance products.
And at least they are insured. That's a good thing.
Well, very much so. Let me make it clear, I do not talk for the insurance industry. My role is to resolve disputes between consumers and insurers. But the number of complaints to our office per 1,000 claims has remained static at 3 complaints per 1,000 claims. That's a constant number, constant pattern that showed itself over the last 3 years.
Does that tell you that a lot of complaints at least are being resolved before they get to your office, that the insurers are at least engaging with those customers?
Very much so. I mean, 3 complaints out of 1,000 claims is a pretty low statistic. So I believe that insurers are very mindful of the new initiatives taken by the regulatory authorities, in particular the treating customers fairly outcomes are being taken seriously by insurers, and I believe that's starting to have an effect now. More and more in my engagement with insurers, I am told how insurers are mindful of the requirements of the regulatory authorities and are trying to give effect to it. So, in a nutshell, I don't think the complaints pattern should be seen as anything extraordinary at all.
Okay, so it's mostly good news. There are offenders, people who attract more complaints than others, and you release those stats if people want to see it, because I think it's important customer information. How do they do that?
Well, they can visit our website, www.hosti.co.za. We've released our annual report today. I'm sure it's going to attract some media attention. But the best way is to either ask us to send you a copy of our annual report or keep an eye on the media.
That address on the screen, www.osti.co.za. Are you willing to name and shame any of the culprits, the insurers who seem to be bent on not paying out, on taking consumers' money, and they're not helping them if they need to claim?
Well, I don't think I can name any one insurer who are bent on taking money from consumers without any intention of paying a claim. Our statistics do indicate those insurers who have attracted the highest number of complaints per 1,000 claims directed to them, and it's all there for the public to see.
You don't want to name them?
I don't mind naming them at all because it's public knowledge.
Yes.
Well,
maybe give me the top 3, bottom 3.
I'll give you the top 5.
Okay.
This is the number of complaints per 1,000 claims. They are RMB Structured Insurance, New National, King Price, ACE, and Saxon.
And your bottom 5, bottom 3?
Well, that's a difficult question because there's some with no complaints per 1,000 claims. There's a whole host of them who haven't attracted any complaints to our office at all. That list is pretty lengthy. In fact,
so
I think
RMB, your worst performer, in fact, there. In finality, how often do you find, in fact we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to stop it there, but thank you so much, and I think a lot of people will want to look at that information. And just a quick address for the website again, www.osti.co.za. That was the Ombudsman for short-term insurance, Dennis Jooste.